Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in what I call English, and I'm your host Mr. Z. Today, or rather next to me, you see the new Audi A4, the model release B9, and I've already presented you the car in a static version at the world premiere in Ingolstadt. I was wearing a suit, but here and today in Italy we are able to drive this car finally. The first Audi A4 was introduced in 1972, which was a B1. During the switch from the fourth to the fifth product generation, they changed the name from Audi A4 to Audi A4. So this is the fifth generation of the bestseller from Audi. And I want to excuse myself real quick. I'm wearing shades. In some comment I was reading my showing off Ray-Bans, but it's really bright here, so excuse myself that I still wear them. The new Audi A4 is built in Ingolstadt and Neckarsulm in Germany, and in Germany we expect the car at the dealership mid-November 2015. It's really heavy, this hood. I don't know why. However, now it's open. At least in Germany, Audi starts with 7 different engines or 7 different power options. Let's put it this way. We have 3 gasoline engine, a 1.4 liter TFSI engine with 150 horsepower, and 2 2-liter TFSI engines with 190 and 252 horsepower. We have 4 different diesel options. So there are 2 2-liter diesels with 150 and 190 horsepower, and then rock and roll we have 2 3-liter V6 TDI engines with 218 and 272 horsepower. You can choose, depending actually to the engine, how you want to switch the gears manually, then it's a 6-speed manual transmission, or a 7-speed dual clutch, or the 8-speed gear tronic, which is only available for the powerful gasoline engine and the 2 V6 diesel engines. The Audi A4 always comes with front-wheel drive, but of course you have the option, and all-wheel drive is called Quattro by Audi. Well, you out there might know that Germany is a really strange country. We don't really buy sedans. All we buy are E-State versions, and a good E-State version for a German market has to have a diesel engine. So we thought, well, if we show the sedan, let's take a petrol engine. That's what we did, and here it is. 2-liter capacity, 252 horses, and it's good for maximum torque of 370 Newton meters. You get them in a range between 1,600 and 4,500 RPM. Our test car is equipped with the 7-speed dual clutch, and we have all-wheel drive, so Quattro. Let me give you the basic facts of our test car, the Audi A4 with the 252 horsepower strong gasoline engine. It accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds. And the top speed is reached at 250 kilometers per hour, which equals 155 miles per hour. The gas tank of the 2050 Audi A4 sedan is good for 54 liters or 14.3 gallons. Audi claims a fuel consumption of 5.9 liters on 100 kilometers or 39.8 miles per gallon, which means that under perfect conditions you can drive up to 910 kilometers or 560 miles without getting gas. In terms of CO2 emissions, the 2015 Audi A4 2.0 TFSI S tronic quattro with 252 horses sets free 136 grams per kilometer, according to Audi. The Audi A4 sedan has a length of 4.73 meters, which equals 186 inches with a wheelbase of 2.82 meters, which equals 111 inches. It is 1.43 meters high, which equals 56 inches, and it is 1.84 meters wide, which equals 72 inches. As of the turning circle, you need at least 11.6 meters or 38.1 feet of free space. The curb weight is 1,510 kilograms or 3,329 pounds. The admissible total weight is 2,080 kilograms, which equals 4,586 pounds. In Germany, our test car would cost round about 69,000 euros. The new Audi A4, the B9, got a little bit lighter. In the best case, the car lost 120 kilograms, and it got a little bit wider. It's now 16 millimeters wider than the B8. And of course, I changed some parts of the design. I think it's more edgy. The edges come out even stronger than the previous model, and it's an Audi. There are always two things that have to have a major update once a new product generation comes out. First one, the single frame grille. Second one, the design of the lights. In Germany, talking about design, we have option lines. They used to be called Ambition and Ambiente. Ambition is now called Sport and Ambiente is now called Design. And you can extend both lines. Sport, the extension is S-line, and design is design selection. And even if you have extended your option line, you can even extend it furthermore with an S-line exterior package. This is specific for Germany and it's open to all the other markets how they ship out option lines and options of the car in general. Well, the old Audi A4 had still halogen lights. With the new generation, the B9 comes by factory setting with Xenon Plus headlights. As an option, you can get LED front lights or even matrix LED front lights. That's a system where you can drive with your high beams on all the time because the traffic that is encountering you or driving in front of you is spared out by the beams, by the LEDs. And with the matrix LED, you get this turning signal that is moving to show even more which direction you are turning. And here is the side view of the new Audi A4 B9. And it's typical Audi style. You have 2/3 is down here to the door and 1/3 of the design is for the greenhouse. That's typical Audi style. Well, I hear you out there. What do you say? Oh, it doesn't look like a new one. Is this really the new one? It looks like the old one. Well, it does not. Excuse me. There are quite a few differences. I will show them right away. But first of all, I want to say something. If you see the new Mercedes C-Class next to the old Mercedes C-Class, you're like, wow, 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 what a difference. You know, new car, old car, new car, old car. So you just imagine you bought the old version right in front of the product cycle and your very neighbor bought the new version. How would you feel? Old car of mine sucks. That's the way. And Audi is thinking a little bit different this way. They say we want a soft evolution in design. So if you buy an Audi today and your neighbor buys a new Audi next year, you still want to look at your car and say, well, yeah, it's the old model, but it still looks good. Well, that's the point. However, we do have changes. Look at this edge, this shadow line, tornado line, how Audi says. That's pretty edgy here and looks different from the new model. And as well the mirror, it was in the triangle right here, now it's sitting on the door. By the way, for a reason. Audi really worked on the CD value. So you might know the world record for a production car in terms of CD value is held by the Mercedes-Benz CLA 180 blue efficiency with 0.22. And Audi says, well, in our class, in this mid-size sedan class, we are now the champions with a value of 0.23. Well, while I was looking at the technical data of our test car, I was reading CD value 0.27, and I was like, what? Is this cheating or what? Or is this just marketing? And I asked the specialists, the experts here, and they told me, well, the Audi A4 Ultra has a specific value because it's a little bit deeper on the road. It has something different in at the front. So this car has a CD value of 0.27, which is still good because, you know, if you don't have so much resistance of the air, you need less fuel and you have less wind noise on the screen, which I like. Okay, this color, if you have seen our Audi R8 video, you should see it because it's really fun to watch. I had really fun recording, filming it. This is a very color. It's called Ara Blue and it has like a crystal effect in it. It's not a regular color you can order. You pay extra, a lot of extra by the way. However, in Germany you can choose between 15 different colors. By factory car, by the way, the Audi A4 stands on 17-inch alloys. To our product line, we should have 17 and 18-inch alloys on it, but we have the optional 19-inch. That costs in Germany 1,300 euros extra, but has a little RS badge on the side. Well, a last glimpse of the back of our Audi A4, the next generation B9. I really like how they work this little spoiler in the lid, so it's not like glued on there, it's just worked in there, and I think it looks pretty good. If you have LED headlights, you have LED technique in the rear lights as well, and if you do, 48 little LEDs are working here. And by the way, both rear lights are connected with this edge here, which is illuminated a little bit from the side, so in the dark it looks pretty neat. And since we are driving the big gasoline engine, we have our exit pipes on the left and on the right, and they're even with chrome, which is I think the S-line option. If you're driving the big TDI engine, you have two exit pipes on the left side. For the other models or engines, I don't know, because we just saw those two options here in Venice. Another new piece are the handles of the door that open now uplift. So you lift them up to open the door, and no, it's nothing revolutionary new. Other manufacturers have had it before, but for Audi it is new with the Audi A4. The doors, by the way, open in an angle of round about 75 degrees, and they offer me a pretty wide frame to enter the car. Oh, we even have a S-line door sill panel here, and I remember my company car, I loved it, but it was always, you know, a little bit hard to get in and out because you're sitting so low. But I hardly have to reach out to close the door. We already had the car yesterday and we're driving around to get some driving impressions, and yesterday night I sat down and configured the car in the online configurator. And so I was adding all the options I found in this car, ending up with a price of 69,000 euros for Germany. And I kind of figured out that this car is already almost fully loaded. There are just a few options missing. So I was not really surprised that all the materials here feel pretty well. We have leather seats, and so the leather comes in the door panels as well. We have nice wood, almost real wood applications here that are in the door as well as down here, and a soft touch up here, down here. So wherever you touch the car, it feels like a premium car, and it's supposed to feel this way because it's an Audi and it's pretty pricey. However, Materials, fine, premium, and I like them. The center is facing me, so it's driver oriented. Thumbs up from my side, I really like it. And from, you know, using the car, everything is just fine in the right position, except two pieces. I don't like the start and stop button down here. You really have to reach down. And same way as the drive select buttons up and down are right here. So if I'm driving, you know, and I want to change the mode, I have to sort of, you know, lean forward and then pushing them up and down. I really don't know which way to go. I think if you buy this car, you get used to it. However, I just want to mention it. I'm sitting in this car right fine. I'm having enough space, more than a fist over my head, and no problems finding a good sitting position. I was driving with Toby yesterday, him on the passenger side, and it's not feeling tight at all. It's rather feeling spacious. And I think this middle part here, which is starting pretty tight at the beginning down here, and it's growing in width to the front of the car, you know, supports this feeling of spaciousness. It's really nice. I like it.
Okay, guys, I'm sitting here in the Audi A4, and Jan forgot to tell you that he's 5'11" tall, so 180 centimeters. I'm a little bit taller, just a tiny bit, 195 centimeters, so 6'5", and I've got no problems sitting in here at all. I can put my fist between my head and the roof ceiling. I even can reach the steering wheel without problems. I have enough space for my legs. I can reach everything. I can even read the virtual cockpit, even though I put the steering wheel to the highest position, or nearly the highest position at all. And yeah, that's perfectly fine. I like it.
I'm starting with my normal routine. We can adjust the height of the safety belts on your shoulder, and I think the door belts are really pretty long. We have the sport seats here as an option, as I told you already, covered with fine leather. You can extend the cushion a little bit, so for people with longer legs you have 2 or 3 extra centimeters. The whole seat is, well, you can adjust it electrically, front, up, and so on and so on. And you have an electric lumbar support. By the way, steering wheel and seats are completely new. They were new design for the new Audi A4. And you can heat up. You have a seat heating, 3 stages. They're planning on giving you the option for an air condition for the seats, and even for a massage function. But this won't be available before next year. Okay. The steering wheel is coated with leather, and you can adjust it manually. That's the radius you have. And of course, it's a multifunctional steering wheel, so we have buttons here on the left side for the whole virtual cockpit, board computer, and so on, and on the right side to navigate through the infotainment system. We have shifting pedals. The haptical feeling is not too exciting. It's plastic and it looks like plastic as well, but from using them, they are right on your fingertips, so it's easy to shift with them. And besides that, always keep in mind the activator, or the button for the active lane keeping support, is on the stick of the turning signal, and down here we have a third stick for the ACC, the adaptive cruise control. Looking in the mirrors, I consider, or at least for my taste, they look really sporty. Not only the mirror itself, but the shape here as well. You see that they did something, or the aerodynamic parts, and I think it's pretty neat. They do look sporty. I think in general, it's not just my opinion, right? They do look sporty and I like them. They're big enough to see everything behind you, what's going on. And what I still don't like about Audi, while other manufacturers put the LEDs of the blind spot warner in the mirror itself, here we have it at the mirror cap. And it's a bright light, so it's okay, but I rather like it in the mirror itself. The inner mirror is frameless now, and I think it's pretty neat. You see the whole rear window in it, so it does what it's supposed to do, and with all the 3 mirrors you can see everything what's going on behind. Turning my head around my shoulder, not really blind spot here, the other way around. No, well, the C pillar, or rather the D pillar, is not really thin, but it's not really a blind spot there. Besides that, in our car we have a rear camera as well as a bird view, a 360-degree camera, both with a really nice, crisp and good picture. And here really to some other manufacturers, for instance to Volvo, this is how a camera picture has to look like, you know, crisp, and you have to see, really see things. That's neat, and I like it. Premium style, perfect. Yeah, now behind the steering wheel we have the virtual cockpit, a 12.3-inch big display with virtual round gauges, or gauges, yeah. We have 2 different views. First view, the gauges are big. Second view, the gauges are small, and everything else has more space. But starting out with the big gauges, you have the RPM meter on the left side going up to 8,000 RPM, red range starting around about 6,750, and the speedometer on the right side up to 300 kilometers per hour with, well, the car runs 250, so we still have some space. While having the big round gauges, you have space inside the circuit, sort of, for different things to show up, and in the middle you see everything that I used to see normally in the little display. On the very right side we have certain LEDs to show us how much gas is still in the tank. On the left side, same structure, it's the temperature of the engine, or the water, cooling water. So switching to the other view, the round gauges get really small. On the left side, inside the thing, you see the driving program. On the right side, the digital speed, while everything else is just very spacious for all the other information. Most likely you will use a GPS thing, and this is pretty neat. Well, you have it doubled now, first here on the display, second here on the display, but I use this way that I was having here a pretty tight zoom to the road I'm driving on, so I could see the very next curve, while this was more like an overview for me. Well, how much longer is it, when do we turn, and so on. So I kind of like it, and if you like it the other way around better, you can switch it. Here like the overview, and here rather tight. And besides that, you can, you know, switch in the background the navigation system, the board computer, the infotainment system / media control, and the phone support. While with all the car data, you have date and time. Well, do you really need this in the car? Short time memory of your mileage, long time memory of your mileage. Energy consumers, the assist systems, and the current or the last recognized traffic sign. While here on this view we have the recent fuel consumption, or the actual fuel consumption, on the right side. However, which mode you're using, which view mode, you always have the your mileage, your overall mileage always in view, as well as the daily mileage and the time and the outside temperature. You can easily read this during daytime and nighttime. I like the fonts, I like it's very crisp, very clear. And just as a side note, I was told that Volkswagen, who uses the active info display as well, 12.3 inch in the new Passat. The displays, however, are different. This is more detailed, has a better resolution. Okay, and next to it we have this 9.2-inch new display, and I know a lot of people are complaining, another floating display, why are they not using the flip in and out solution anymore? Well, first of all, they figured out there's not enough space in there for it. Second, it's more expensive. Third, it's, it's easier to break, sort of. And last but not least, this way you can have a bigger display. So that's a 9.2-inch display, very crisp as well, very good to read during night and daytime. Well, nighttime I don't even know. I've not driven in nighttime. I've driven the cockpit in nighttime, but not this display. However, I have no reflections on it. I really like it. It's a good display. And last but not least, our car is equipped with a head-up display. And while I still say BMW builds the best head-up display whatsoever in the whole car industry, Toby says no, the Audi system is better. You get information, current speed limit, the assist systems like the lane keeping support and the ACC, or what they call the predictive efficiency assist, and instructions from the GPS navigation system. And you can read it clear and easily. It's neat. And I've driven to a small, very small tunnel where I could say, yeah, even during nighttime, it's easy to read and good to read. Good numbers. All right. We do have an ambient light in here, but can't tell you anything about it because I haven't seen it. It's just bright outside all day. By the way, it's very hot, very humid sort of as well. I'm very close to collapse. It's really hot in here. However, there's an ambient light. You can choose up from 30 different colors. You can choose the intensity of the light. And I know, for instance, it's right here in the cup holders as well as down at the speakers. You have illuminated things at the door panel, and I think even here some lines are illuminated as well, and here's a stripe in the door as well. But you might want to check it out at your local dealer. I don't know. Okay, we don't have a sunroof in here, but of course we have a horn, and I will honk it real quick for you so you know the sound. Alright, I'm back with the Ausfahrt.tv compartment check. That's how it all started to become so long. But I like it. I really like it because I think it's interesting. In the door panels we have space not only for this half-a-liter bottle, but 1 liter bottles will fit in there with ease, and you even have more space for a warning vest or a wallet or whatever there is you want to place there, CDs maybe. On the left, next to the steering wheel, we have a little compartment, and I was really surprised. It's really deep. Let me show you. It's about this deep, you know, from my fingertips up to here, and it's coated with clothes. That's pretty neat. I like it. So much storage in there. Amazing. In the middle, in the center, we have a 12-volt outlet, and in front of it, there's a little place with anti-slip surface for some coins. I put my shades there. In front of it, we find the cup holder, and be aware, half-a-liter bottles fit in there with ease. I think even a liter bottle would fit in there. But since the whole part here is driver-oriented, you know, and this part is rather going in the opposite direction, this bottle fits in here fine. But if you have a liter bottle, you know, it will knock on the climate control. And here it's even worse. Even this half-a-liter bottle is, you know, working against the wood. And having a bigger bottle, it would even slam to these buttons. I don't think it's cool. However, it works, and they have spacers inside. Everything's fine besides that. At the end of the center console, we have a little compartment, anti-slip, right big enough for the key. And that's actually where you should put your key according to Audi. We have an armrest here that you can push forward and backward and adjust in height. So, you know, easy driving, but your hands belong to the steering wheel. You can flip it up. We have 2 USB ports and an aux in or line in. Besides that, there's a little symbol of a mobile phone, and I'm an Apple addict. You know, I'm one of those zombies who run to the Apple store whenever they bring out a new product. So I'm not too keen about this feature, but a lot of other people might like it. It's supporting now inductive charging. So some phones do this. I think some Nokia phones, for instance. However, you just have to place your phone on this little place here, and it's charging without a wire. Besides that, even your iPhone should be placed here, because in this box the car amplifies the signal of the mobile phone. So you get a better connection if you put the phone in there. Alright, up to the gloves compartment, which is not really big. Only this board material fits in there, not much more. You have a holder for a pen. And here are the slots for the 2 SD cards, the SIM card and the DVD or CD slot. Besides that, here you can disable the airbag for the passenger seat. So if you want to drive with your baby shelves on the passenger seat, here you can disable the airbag. On both shades we find makeup mirrors that are illuminated by an LED, and here an important information: by factory setting the Audi A4 now has LEDs all over the place. So no normal light bulbs anymore here in the car, it's all LED. And here's a little clip for your parking tickets or whatever. So the reading light's LED as well. All you have to do is touch the light itself, reading light for the driver and for the passenger, or you enable both lights as an entry light. And we have handles on all 4 doors. That's it. Well, now it's time to check out the space in the rear, on the rear bench. And just looking inside, I have my doubts that I really sit comfortable. Besides that, when I enter the car, I have probably to bend my head, because the shape of the sedan is a little bit coupe-like, you know. So the roof line falls down here to the back, and I probably have to nod my head while getting in. Alright, let's hop inside in the rear. Have to bend my head, that was clear. Ooh, I'm rhyming, fresh. However, I got more space here than I expected, and I can close the door easily. Well, I haven't told you for a while, I am 180 centimeters tall, so 5'11". The driver's seat is put in the perfect position for me to drive, and I still can sit behind myself, sort of, very comfortable. I have enough space for my legs, for my feet, for my head. It's not a full fist, but almost to the side, and yeah, that's pretty comfortable. I really sit comfortable. The seat cushions are comfortable. The seats are foamed out just a little bit, so well, a light breeze of side support, I might say. No, that's perfect. Let's see how Toby feels in here.
Welcome to another episode of Toby the Living Measure Tape. I've got a little bit of mixed feelings in the back, because I have kind of much space for my legs, because the seats are spared out a lot. I don't know if you see this here, but for my feet there is no space at all. I'm trying to push them under the seat, but there's not very much space. It's the same for my head. I can't put my hand between the roof ceiling and my head. When I try to lay back a bit, then I'm touching the ceiling and can't reach the headrest. But the rest is okay. Even to the sides I have space, and yeah, I think it's okay.
Well, thanks Toby. So we have this clear now too. Let me go on with the compartments. In the door panels we have not only space for this half-a-liter bottle, I'm pretty sure a full liter will fit in here as well, and there's still some little space left. On the back of the front seats we have those nets for newspapers, magazines, well, they're not really tight, you know, or even comics. In the center console, we have the control for the third climate zone. So we have a 3 climate zone air condition here, and the air outlets for the rear bench. And down below we find a 12-volt outlet. In the middle, a green bug, I hate them. Well, no, I dislike them, I'm sorry. I don't hate nature. We have the armrest. You can flip it open and here's a little storage. And I was wondering, where the hell are the cup holders? Wow, no cup holders in the rear. Excuse me. Just go out and live there. But they've changed the layout of the cup holders. They're now here. And our little bottle fits in here all right. You even have little spaces. But I don't think that bigger bottles will really fit in here. Well, that's fine. It's okay. It's working. Oh, excuse me. I dropped the bottle. So if you want to, you can open the whole part and reach through to the trunk or load longer stuff in here. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Oh, by the way, here's a little thing so you can block this part from being flipped from the trunk, and it was locked, and I was trying to, you know, pull it down. It didn't work. Was about to get crazy. Okay, sitting in the rear, the kids are here. Fresh Yano G on the microphone, right on my chin. No, I'm sorry. We have reading lights for the kids or for the passengers in the rear, full LED as well, or LEDs as well. The safety belts right here are really, really long, so I promise you will have no problems putting your a child seat or baby shelf in here. The locks of the safety belts are stable, so kids can buckle up themselves with ease. And for both outer seats we have ISOFIX hooks here. Perfect. What else is missing? Well, power steered windows in the rear, and they don't fold down completely. I'm sorry, I don't know. Is this just me? I hate it. You know, why don't they fold down? Yeah, I know, you know, the shape of the door and all that. But that's a big dislike from my side. Oops. And I wanted to see, but I already know it has a protection so no one gets harmed in here when the power windows roll up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, the part I don't like too much. Putting myself in the center of the universe. No, of the Audi rear bench. I can sit fine. The cushion is okay. The back is a little bit harder. Yeah, I'm sitting not too bad, but I already see that my legs are over the seat cushions of the both outer place, and with my butt I'm sitting on the locks of the safety belts as well. So, well, 3 grown up. With my dimensions, it will be more than cozy in the rear of the Audi A4 Sedan. That's it. The new Audi A4 comes with a new key design. At least it's new for me, and I think it really is new because I used to drive the old A4 as an E-State version, as an Avant, as a company car. However, I like the new key. It's pretty neat. Very clean design, 3 buttons on the one side and just glossy black on the other side. Lock, unlock and open the trunk, and I can just unlock it or hold the button and then it jumps out, even it's not electric. You have a button in the driver's door as well to open the lid, or you just open it right here. In the trunk we have space for 480 liters or 17 cubic feet. And we don't have too much luggage with us because most of the stuff is in the hotel. That's just technical equipment. And all these pieces fit easily in the trunk. Even this tripod case of ours fits in here, and I'm very pleased. If I look around, we have a net to prevent our goods from flying around in the trunk. There's this little hidden trapdoor. No, just kidding. Underneath you find the battery and the tire kit, and even a little bit of space for something else, even it doesn't look too nice in here. On the left side we have a little net, as well as on the right side, but here we have even a little compartment where I find the first aid kit, a 12-volt outlet as well. And here we have two hooks for bags, you know, shopping bags, while the warning triangle is here in the lid. And 4 pieces to tie up our goods in the trunk. But that's not all. We can even flip the rear bench. Once you have flipped the back seats, you have space for 34 cubic feet or 965 liters of luggage. And I already measured everything for you. You have a width in this trunk of 97 centimeters. And if you haven't flipped the back seat, it's around 90 centimeters deep, and you have a height of 44 centimeters. Once you flip the back seats and you see you don't get an even more plain surface here, you have a length of round about 170 centimeters, and if you push the passenger seat to the very front, it's even 20 centimeters longer. Okay, now it's time to get going. Lifting up my suitcase, I have to lift it up 68 centimeters, which is around about 27 inches, and then it goes down around 15 centimeters. I can store up to 570 kilograms in the new Audi A4, which is 1,257 pounds, of which I can store up to 90 kilograms on the roof. And if you install a hook, you can pull trailers with their own braking system up to a weight of 1.9 tons. Well, okay, my driving experience, my driving expressions, the engine, 252 horsepower, alright, yes, you have the power right on the throttle and it's fun to drive. Actually, I would really like to try the car on the Autobahn. We've been in Italy here, the speed limit is 130 kilometers per hour, and you better don't go faster because the police here does take picture and they're not really cheap. However, we've been in the mountains and driving up and down some curvy, tiny mountain roads. And boy, seriously, I had fun. It's fun to drive this car. It has enough power. The 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission works seamless with charm. Never noticed it. And even driving up and down the mountain, where you always, well, you feel tempted to shift yourself with the pedals. It worked fine with me. I didn't feel the need to do this. Tried it out anyhow, and I can tell you it shifts really quick when you need it. So on demand, the gears just hop in and out. That's great. The brakes are fine too. I just had one critical situation where to really brake hard and car stopped. I don't have the feeling that the brakes have any problems with the weight or the power of the car. They're just right dimension, I would say. The steering, by the way, Audi re-engineered the steering, the whole steering and the suspension for the new Audi A4. And we even have an update. We don't have the regular steering, but the dynamic steering, which is supposed to be a little bit more direct even than the regular one. I can tell you because I just know the dynamic one, and they did re-engineer the suspension. And here we have an adaptive comfort suspension in our test car. By the way, you can switch modes. The drive select buttons here help you to switch between efficiency, comfort, auto, so the best of all, dynamic or individual. Once you have individual, you can configure values for the engine, gearbox, the suspension, the dynamic steering and the ACC. But we are going back in dynamic, of course, because I'm a dynamic driver. This steering is delicious directly delicious, whatever. It's really nice and direct. Even, you know, just shaking the steering wheel, the whole car starts shaking. It's so direct. You don't do this on regular streets, of course, but just to give you an idea how direct it really is. And going up and down the curves in the mountains, it was really it was just fun, because you don't have to, you know, grab your hands over and do all this. It's just working fine. I like that, really. Do your own test drive and you'll be with me. The steering is just awesome. Transmission, did I mention the transmission? I guess so, right? Works seamless? Yeah, I did so. So what else is missing? Oh, the suspension. Well, I do feel a significant change switching from dynamic to comfort, so I think at least the adaptive part is doing a good job. Once you put the car in dynamic, the suspension gets much stiffer, so you feel the bad roads of Italy. Once you put it in comfort, it holds away a lot from you. So I think it's a good setup. The whole suspension is just fine. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed is the sound of the car. I'm going on the Autobahn now, and let me shift down and down. Can you hear this? I mean, really, seriously, that's fine. Okay, you hear the engine, but overall, I'm disappointed. I would enjoy a more sporty sound. Maybe they will offer an extra sports system later on, I don't know, but this could be much more fun, if you ask me. But overall, car's fine. About the fuel consumption, maybe in the resume at the end of the clip. Okay, now Audi is offering all the assist systems that they introduced with the Audi Q7 in the A4 as well. So from a luxury SUV down to the mid-size sedan, and I'm really pleased. They divide all the assist system in two parts. It's like city and tour. Well, city has everything you have in the city, like pre-sense, you know, recognition of bicyclists and pedestrians and all that, and parking assist, la la la. Two is more interesting, at least for me. And they have this predictive efficiency assist, which is working with the camera of the traffic sign recognition, the adaptive cruise control, and the GPS navigation system. So you put your ACC on a certain speed and let it go. Well, nothing happens so far. Then you come to a speed limit, and before you see the speed limit, the car already knows the speed limit from the data of the GPS navigation system. And even if it doesn't know this speed limit, because you're like encountering a road construction, the camera scans the speed limit. So the adaptive cruise control is adapting the current speed limit at once, and if it knows the speed limit coming ahead, it's even reducing the speed before you even see the speed limit. So that's a way you can really save a lot of fuel, and I like it. That's pretty neat. Besides that, if you put your ACC on 80 kilometers per hour maybe on the country road, and then you're encountering a circle, it slows down so you can, you know, corner the circle without even touching the throttle or the brake. And I think that's pretty neat. Really, driving it is much more fun than describing it, actually. I think they did a really good job. Besides that, we have active lane keeping support. The one from Volkswagen, Group, always works with charm. is good in recognizing the lines and keeping you in the line. It's active, so it uses the steering wheel even if I, leave my hands off the steering wheel. It's staying in line at least for a certain while, and then it gives you a warning, so put your hands back where they belong. However, works fine with charm. And putting both systems together, like the ACC and the active lane keeping assist, you have a traffic jam assist. Oh yeah, we got two systems, put them together, and the marketing is creating a new word for it. However, you can, go into a traffic jam and the car will go on for you unless you really stop for a certain while. Then you have to tip the throttle so the car goes on. But in the meantime, up to speeds, I think up to 60 kilometers per hour, it stays in your lane and keeps distance to the guy in front of you, and you creep through the traffic jam without doing anything. Pretty neat. By the way, of course, we have a blind spot warner, works with charm as well. And I think that's pretty much it. Well, there are a bunch of more system in those two packages that I'm not mentioning here. Read it up if you want to. I mean, they have something, I think, like an assist that warns you if you open the door instead, in terms of getting out and there's a car coming from behind. Do we need this? Well, it works with the radar sensors and all that, so it's neat to have an extra warning instead of having no warning and getting your car wrecked, I guess. A few words to the Bang & Olufsen sound system in here. It's pretty expensive, I guess, 1,300 euros. It has the same name like the one in the Audi Q7, which I didn't like at all. I said, well, especially the mid parts are so disappointing. And here in the Audi A4, thumbs up. Awesome system. My best friend is going to buy a new Audi most probably, and I would tell him tomorrow straight away, well, plan those 1,300 euros because you need them. That's an awesome system and you want to have it. By the way, you get CarPlay and Google Auto in the car now as well. In the new Audi A4, the MMI is supporting this now. Works, well, at least, I just have Apple, so Apple CarPlay worked fine, but I didn't get Spotify to run. So I have no idea why and when and what for, but it didn't work. Well, I think that's pretty much it. Well, keep in mind I just drove 140 kilometers and I need some more miles or kilometers to really give you more insights. Well, that's it. Coming to an end of our review. The sum up at the end. Most likely you're just watching the sum up, most probably. No, okay, we have our different categories. We have driving fun. Alright, baby. Now, I really had fun with this car. Quattro driven, enough power, perfect steering, good suspension. Well, it's just fun, really here in the mountains, those little country roads that are, screwing themselves around the mountains. I had so much fun, and I was even pushing some locals. Not pushing. We're driving carefully and all that. I was having enough distance. However, I really enjoyed driving this car here. Fuel efficiency. Well, Audi claims a fuel efficiency of 5.9 liters on 100 kilometers. We just drove around about 120 kilometers yesterday and had a fuel consumption of 9.5 liters. Where, well, on one hand, I was driving a little bit sporty in the mountains. On the other hand, on the Italian Autobahn, where there's a speed limit of 130 kilometers per hour, I was just going cruise control. So I think it's a pretty good value. I think around about 9 liters per 100 kilometers is acceptable. Today we have 11.4 liters on 100 kilometers according to a distance of 23 kilometers. So we just drove 23 kilometers to get here. Yeah, just for you and you and you. However, usage as a daily driver. I'm having a hard time to judge this car because it's a sedan and we Germans, we just drive E-State versions. So, no, I'm just kidding. I think as a daily driver it's fine. The trunk is pretty big, 480 liters. I think, what was it? 34? No, 17 cubic feet, I don't know about your values. However, the trunk is not only big, there's no disturbing parts in the way, so you can use the whole volumina, and I think that's pretty neat. Besides that, you have space for at least 4 grown-up my size, or even a Toby can sit behind me. Even he prefers sitting next to me. Actually, he prefers driving the car. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll let him drive one day. Comfort. Well, first of all, we have a fully loaded car here. Fully loaded. If I say no, it's not comfortable, Audi is doing something major wrong. But it is comfortable. I like the seats, the sport seats. They're really neat. I like the suspension. The difference between sport and comfort is significant. And so overall, the car is pretty comfortable. I was a little bit disappointed by the announcement. Well, it's, you know, all silent inside now. I heard some wind noises, and it's not, maybe it's the Italian roads that I'm not used to. Okay, summing it all up. Nice car, really, good job Audi. No, really, I have nothing really to complain. Two things. Yesterday I was talking to the Audi guys at the dinner, and some guy I know was coming up to me and said, "So what's the point, you know, what do you say?" And he knows that I'm really straightforward, and I say, well, that's shit, and I don't like that, and that, and that, and that. And I was standing there, well, the buttons of the drive select are out of reach for me. That was all. And next to the, you know, the motor sound could be a little bit better. So I think Audi did a pretty perfect car so far. What I can judge from driving this car around about 140 kilometers. So that's it. Yeah, I'm saying goodbye. Before I do this, please, I want to encourage you. If you have any questions, put them below in the comments. If you want to tell us, hey, you're not too bad, you know, give us a thumb up, and I highly appreciate you giving me some feedback about whatever, you know. Nice shirt, Jan, those shades are ugly, you should shave. I just watched the clip all the way, I didn't make it more than 5 minutes. Well, then you can't hear this. However, please give us feedback. We profit from your feedback, we really do, and we appreciate it a lot. And yeah, we even answer your question. Actually, we have this, we try to answer every comment. So all your effort will be appreciated twice. Huh? Isn't that a deal? Okay, that's it. I'm out of here. You can call me Mr. Z. That was my, what I call, English review of the new Audi A4 version B9. And I hope I see you back in our next English clip. Till then, goodbye. Ooh, this is pretty heavy, right? Up to this point, and then it just switched open. Well, one thing. Oder habe ich das doch gesagt? Once you have flipped the back seats, you have space for 965 liters or 37 cubic feet.